Well, unbelievable. I've got 1 million viewers in less than 30 seconds. I reckon I should have put a premiere, but I'm not really familiar with this YouTube lark, so I don't know how to do it. Anyway, I shall hang on a few minutes. Oh my God. Hi, James. How's it going? Jesus. You'd have to slow down. I'm a bit slow. Aiden's Car Wash channel. Hi, how are you doing? Juiced Van Deelen. Hello, man. How are you? Andrew Smith. Hello. Mark Murphy. How are you doing? Oh my God. I didn't expect so many people so quick. You'll have to excuse me, guys. I'm not really familiar with the live streaming. It's one of them things that kind of takes a little while for me to get my head around, because I only do it I've done it about once or twice in the past. I will try to shout out everybody's name. Let's see. Chris Hocking, how are you doing? Sean MC, good evening. Jordan Walker, hello. AD. So Alan, have you never seen a petrol Mark IV? Yes, I have. Oh, yes, I have. Funnily enough, we've had a spate of them lately. There was one guy, he came in last week. I think it was a 14 plate Mark IV, and it was petrol, a Duratec HE engine, and it had 10,000 miles on the clock from new. He had looked after it like a baby. Yeah, the car was absolutely immaculate. But yeah, I've seen a few of them now. There was a guy coming from Stanford Way, Lincoln Way. He broke down on the A1, sort of like overheated because his water pump leaked. He had a Duratec HE and a Mark IV, and we fixed his car. I forget his name now. He left it with us for a few days, well, for the weekend. So we got that done. That was a very nice car as well. But yeah, I have seen quite a few now. But up until recently, I'd never seen a Mark IV with a petrol engine in it. But there again, the problem is I'm not that really up on cars, if you know what I mean, because I fix taxis. It's one specific. It's the Mark IV and Mark V Mondeo, and they're all diesel. I don't really get the opportunity to see all these different makes of cars and actually do anything to them. So anything out of the ordinary comes in, I have to kind of get my head around it. By the way, there is a video I'm making now. I started it today. It's on a Vauxhall, unbelievably. It's a Vauxhall combo van with a 1300 diesel, and it was a mess from the start. It was a nightmare to diagnose the problem. Well, it shouldn't have been a nightmare, but it turned out to be a nightmare. So I'm going to make a video of that, because the engine ended up getting destroyed by, I don't know what's wrong with the engine. I'm going to find out, so I'm going to strip it down, do another little autopsy. Let me try and work my way down this. D4NZO, the Mondeo. Oh God, yeah. I only actually ever started this Mondeo channel because I wanted to sort of like bang on about the wet belts in the 1.8 TDCi. I had a Sunday free and I just wanted to talk about something. That was going back some years now, and then it just went on from there. It was my channel was never supposed to be, how can I put it, serious. It was supposed to be a laugh. This whole channel was just a laugh, but it's obviously now I have to sort of like put out will try and be sort of like correct in what I put out. I don't want to give out information to people that is going to make them mess their cars up. So I try to give out as much good information as I can. Alan Cobbin, good evening. How are you? Robert Mustard, hello Robert. Juiced Van Deelen, hi. How are you? I've got to look at the camera up there. I'm trying. I've got two screens here. Tonight, all I was going to do is I was going to run, because I'm terrible. I'm absolutely shit when it comes to the comments. What I tend to be doing is, if I put a video out, I'll get all these comments and then I'll leave it for a week or sometimes 2 weeks before I reply to them. And it's not really. I should be replying like straight away. Really, I know I should, but I'm bloody awful. So I'm going to try and reply to the comments tonight, or at least some of them that I can actually answer. I do get some comments I can't even understand the question. So Andrew Smith, hello Andrew. Mark Murphy, hi. Gary Wills, hi Geezer. Rob Turner, hi Rob. Pete, thank you Pete. James Foster, hi James. Aiden's Car Wash channel, I've seen your Aiden's Car Wash channel. I know you always leave comments. Thank you very much. I do notice your channel quite a bit. Peter Stewart, hi from Belfast. Hi Peter, how's it going over there? SDI Automotive, I've seen your channel lots of times. You're quite technical. But hi SDI Automotive. Jordan Walker, are you up for people turning up at the workshop to say, yeah, hell yeah. If you're ever passing, just drop in. Yeah, come in, I'll make you a coffee. Just say, I've been watching you on YouTube. Honestly, I get this all. I get this all the time. I get people phoning up because they're sort of like, they're trying to do something. They've got no answers to it. They phone me up because they see the channel and they ask me questions. And so obviously sometimes I can't help, but sometimes I can help. But a lot of them will go, I've been watching you on YouTube. It's a bit of a joke now, but anyone who wants to phone up who's got a question, if you've got a problem, I mean, I'm happy to help most of the time. I'm fairly busy most of the time, but obviously if you do have issues, I will do my best to try and answer them for you. Who else have we got? Jordan, yep. Julian Gimbasu. Hi, Julian. Stephen King. Hi, Steve. Mark Wilson. Hi, Mark. How are you doing? Russ Dandy. Why does my Mark V sound tappety? That's a good question. It depends. I'd like to know how many miles you got on it, because a lot of these taxis we've got, some of them are absolutely smooth and quiet, and other ones are like rattly old dogs. And I'm getting the feeling, like the one I took apart the other day, where the rockers, where the hydraulic tappets go on, the rockers are really badly worn where they connect onto the tappets and to the valves, which was probably due to God only know, well, lack of oil pressure, I'd say, or the wrong oil. And if the rockers get worn out, there's no, I don't think the tappets can make up for it. The engines are going to rattle from the top end anyway, and they're going to sound that rattly and noisy. It's probably not going to do any harm, but I know what you mean. Them engines, they should be perfectly still when they're running, ticking over, and they should be nice and quiet. Joe Thompson. Hi, Joe. Dave Hughes. Good evening, Dave. Niels Albertson. Hey, mate. Can't watch now. Sweden, Ukraine just watched. I've skipped the football. I'm not watching it. I've got. I think, aren't England playing Germany? That's like the old rivals, isn't it? That's I hate to think who's going to win that. Reese Warner, hello, buddy. How are you? Barry Gill, hi, Alan. Love watching you. Thank you, Barry. Kazzy 39. Is Monica there? No, Monica doesn't live with me. She's got her own house. She's my co-worker. We're sort of like a little video team. That's we do the videos together. So, but no, she doesn't live here. Mind you, if she did come online, maybe one day I'll say to her, I'm going to set a live stream for such and such a time. Do you want to jump in on the live stream? I might be able to get her to do that because she's quite game for doing stuff, you know. Marcel Hoganboom, hello. Must I also the chain and the timing bell? Marcel, on there, if it's the Mark 5 2-litre diesel, if you're up to 100,000 miles, 125,000 miles, you would do your timing belt and water pump and the tensioners that go with it. You wouldn't have any need to replace the chain. I'm beginning to find now that anything after 220,000 miles onwards, the chain tensioner guides are wearing out. And someone did mention in one of the comments, which I'll probably get to later, it would probably be worth, if you have a car at that kind of mileage, over 200,000, when you do the next set of cam belts, it would be a good thing to do the chain at the same time. The trouble is, it's a lot of work. It's also a lot of money. So unless you can do it by yourself, you're going to be presented with a rather large bill from the dealership or wherever you take it. Even the backstreet garage is going to charge quite a lot of money for that job. It would one of them jobs to change a chain. If I had no interruptions, I would probably get it done in about 6 hours. That wouldn't be sort of like rushing, because I don't rush anymore. I just take my time, but it's still quite a long, old, drawn-out job. Where are we? Spyros Devaris. Hello, Spyros. SDI Automotive. Hi. Jesus. Hello. Hand wave. Ross Birch. Hi, Ross. Gareth Shiner. Hi, Gareth. SDI Automotive. Lol. Lol. I like saying lol. Brian 22640. Hi, Brian. Percy LFC. Good evening, Percy. Sean McDowell. Thank you, Sean. Shelty 1001. Hello, Shelty. JJ Giroux. Hi, JJ. How's it going? Julian Gimbasu. Watching you every time. Thank you. Thank you very much. Marcus Jeff. Hello, Marcus. Gary Wills. Hello, Gary. Gary's Taxis. Oh, you have a taxi yourself. Mark Holian. Right, Alan, move over. Get money on. Right, I wish I could. Oh, hang on. I wish I could let her take over. I could take a breath. George Ewan. Oh dear, hang on. I've just flipped the mouse and the blimmin' everyone's name is just scrolled. I've lost where I was now. I don't know how to get everybody's name to come up on the screen. Banners. Oh, I don't know. I'll go back to the comments. Right. There's so many of you guys. I'm sort of like I'm running out of breath saying hello. But anyway, for everybody who's joined the live stream, thank you very much. I do appreciate all you guys watching my videos. From what originally was just a giggle. I wanted to just answer a couple questions or comments that have been left on my channel. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, you'll see that you have like your YouTube studio bit, and then you just get a whole list of comments which go to all your different videos. And because I've got like, I don't know, there's must be getting on for 200 videos out there. I do get like quite a lot of comments come in, and it's difficult to find the time to actually run through them all. And some of them can be quite technical, and I don't know the answers to them. I have to kind of look it up. But the first one of all, Marcel Hogenboom, you were saying about do you change the chain? I've just answered that one. No, don't change the chain unless you've done like around about 250,000 miles. Then obviously do change the chain on a Mark 5 2-litre diesel, because the tension is going to be worn out. Nightmare. Hang on. I've got two mouses here. I've got Marco Previtera. He's talking about a headlight unit on a Mark 5 Mondeo. I've shown how to replace the bulbs in it, but can you disassemble the headlight? No, you can't. The headlights are a sealed unit. In fact, the leveling motors that go inside them Mark 5 headlights, they're sealed inside the headlight. And I've had a few where the headlight motor, leveling motor, is seized in like a very low down or high up position, and you can't do nothing about it. It's just replace the headlight. You're not supposed to take them apart. Let me see where I am. If I do some more of these live streams, I'll probably work it out and be better at it. But it's a bit higgledy-piggledy at the minute. I've got Ivo Fidalgo. Hi, Alan's greetings from Portugal. Blimey. I didn't know there was a reach that far. Well, hello there in Portugal. I hope your weather's better over there than it is over here. I think we had our summer the other week. We had 30-degree temperatures on a Wednesday. Now it's bloody rain and cloud nearly every day. But hello, Ivo, anyway. Mart. Good evening, Mart. Juiced Van Deelen. I'm having trouble with my cruise control buttons on the Mark 5. The buttons are working intermittent, and the Ford repair shop already changed the module on the steering wheel. Still no fix. It's kind of hit and miss. You've got your steering wheel, you've got all your buttons for your cruise control and all that, and radio and everything, and your computer, obviously. If it's not the clock spring, normally if it's the clock spring behind the steering wheel, it's the horn that stops working. But it could well be the buttons, the little switch pack that goes in the steering wheel. We've had quite a few of them we've had to change. The problem is, I don't know if main dealers, how they diagnose them switch packs. We have spare switch packs kicking around, so we'd plug in a good working unit to know for sure. And if that does cure it, then we'll just get a new one. So if you stop by our shop, we'll fix it for you, I'm sure. It's just the expense of having to buy something and not knowing it's going to fix it. AD, I've literally just sold mine a 1.5 EcoBoost. Oh, 1.6 EcoBoost. I've seen a few of these 1.6s. I hear the 1.5 engine isn't a very good one. They do head gaskets in. As far as the jury's out on the 1.6s, but I would, you know, if you bought a Mark 5 Mondeo, I would say go for the 2-litre. I have drove the 1.6 and the 1.5, and they just, I guess they're all right in fuel economy, but they just seem so underpowered. You can definitely tell the difference when you're driving them. If you get in a 2 litre, you'll definitely notice how much quicker they are. Paul Hughes, hi Paul. How is it going with Monica? Well, it's going great. She's my video partner. Maybe one day I'll make a little story on how I got her to make videos. But I did ask her one day to make one. This is the very first. It's going back a few years. And by the end of the day, she went home and it never got made. So a few weeks later, I was making a video in the workshop and she was jumping in front of the camera. And I said, go and stand by that car. This is the one where we creaking rear suspension bushes. And she got her to bounce the car. And from that day onwards, I think she quite liked it. So she got involved in all the videos after that. And that was good for me because I don't want to be the one-man band making videos. I would love it if I had anyone and everyone in the videos. I want loads of people in the videos. I want everybody to get involved in it. I just think it makes it much more interesting. The more people you get involved, the better. The more interested it is. Jordan Walker, hi Jordan. I had a Mark IV petrol 1.8. It was a bit boring, I won't lie, very slow too. If that's a 1.0, yeah, petrol 1.8, yeah. I'm not really sort of like familiar with them. I know it's the Duratec HE, but they do 2 litres as well. And I guess the 2 litres are a lot quicker. I think they're okay. Matty England, Siamese or Persian? Eva. 0067 John. Hi John. Hi, you have saved me fortune doing my own Mondeo repairs over the years. Well, I'm glad you're able to fix it yourself. You can, I mean, that's the whole point of it. If you feel competent enough to repair your own car and do it properly, and you can then yeah, that's my motto. That's why when I have things go wrong, I don't pick up the phone and call a repairman, such as like the washing machine here. If the washing machine blows up, I'll have a go at it myself. Stuff like that. I mean, if obviously there are things you can't touch, but you know, I'm that kind of person. I guess a lot of you guys are as well. That you'd rather try and do something yourself. It's not just the fact you're saving money, it's the fact that you're doing something, and if you can fix it yourself, it makes you feel better. You know, you can say, well, I've done that. Great, I've learned something myself. Anything like that happens in the future, I'll know what to do next time. AD, hi AD, 11 plate estate with 100,000, 100k, best car ever. I do like the Mark IV estates. Especially with the tinted windows all round. I think they look the part. Even if I went back to the Mark I and Mark II Mondeos, I always liked the estates the best. They just had that nice look about them. Plus they were pretty useful. Mocco 2802. Hi Mocco, tell Monica we love you. Monica, Mocco 2802 loves you. I will pass that on to her tomorrow. Christopher Allen, hi Chris. Have you had an experience with the 2.2 Puma engine? No. It's not a car that we, if I do see a Puma, it's a bloody old one. But no, had nothing to do with them really. I've MOT'd a few and done a few oil changes, but that's about it. I've not heard of any issues. Peter Martin, hi Peter. Has Monica let you slip her a spanner? No, no, she hasn't. Brian 22640, juiced sticky buttons. TB, hi TB. I love your way of working. Well, thanks TB. Performance World, Big Al, Bam Bam Balam, High Performance World. Some of these channels I'll have to look at when I get time. The trouble is, there's never enough minutes in the bloody day to do everything you want to do. Socket Willie, hi Alan, greetings from Austria. Holy crap! Isn't that where the that's near bloody Germany, isn't it? Well, hello over there. Are you supporting the German football team? Because I don't think England's going to win tonight, or it's probably going to go to penalties. I can see that one. Lawrence Baker. Hi, Lawrence. How are you doing? Thank you very much. Mart, good evening. Greetings from the Netherlands. Netherlands as well. Yep. There's someone else from the Netherlands I watch every single night. Sticks and I can't even say his name. Sticks and Hammer 666. He's like political, but he's so funny. I just love watching his channel. I don't even watch. He is my news now. He is my what used to be Channel 4. But since Jon Snow and that lot went woke, I don't even watch him. I don't even bother watching the TV anymore. Robert Chaleski, hello from Norway. Hello, Robert. How are you doing? Thank you very much. Robert Mustard, hello, Alan. How are you, mate? I'm very good, Robert. Thank you very much. Got three Roberts in a row. Robert Wilcoxon, love watching your videos, pal. Informative and entertaining. Thank you very much, Robert. Bill Griffiths. Hi, Alan. What was your first car you owned? It was a 1967 Vauxhall Viva HB, and it had inner tubes in the tyres. Drove it around totally illegally. I think I fitted about 13 people in that car one night. But one story that always sticks, I'll never forget. There was 4 of us in this Viva, and I was going around this sharp right-hand bend, and one of the back width tyres just blew out. And we done like a 180 in the middle of the road. This is a country road. We done a 180 in the middle of the road. 2 of the wheels hit like the verge, and the whole car went up nearly on its side and rolled over in the ditch. But it went up sort of like that, and then we went back down onto the ground. It was brilliant. We were pretty scary at the time. We saw the funny side afterwards. But yeah, it was a 1967 Vauxhall Viva was my first car. No driving license or nothing, by the way. That was a long time ago. The main car I had was a bogey green 1974 Morris Marina. Zach Shipley, what's your favourite snap-on tool? Hi, Zach. It'll be a 3/8 drive ratchet. That is all I'll buy off Snap-on. No, actually, I've got a big ratchet which is Snap-on as well, 1/2 inch drive. I won't buy Snap-on tools anymore because they're too expensive. I'll just go to Halfords now because they give a lifetime warranty anyway if they break. But I don't think you can get much better than a Snap-on ratchet. They are the best in the world. I'll give them that. Spiros Devaris. Hi, Spiros. Could we have some more Mark IV? We still have, like, I don't know, nearly 20 odd Mark IVs. If anything comes in on the Mark IV side of things, I will do something. It's difficult, you see, because I've still got to sort of like get the work done. And at the same time, if something comes in that's interesting, I'll try and hang it to one side so I can make something on it. But it's just waiting for the right opportunities all the time. But I'll bear it in mind. Seed Bectus, I can't say your name, but Seed, hello, how are you? Ray Green, hi Ray. McCoffey, Alan, greetings from Poland. Hello, Poland. Thanks for your many videos. They help me a lot with my Mark V, which I have just recently sold. Your pockets will be a lot lighter now then. What are you going to buy next? A D4NZO, hi, 1.3 C. D4NZO 1.3 CDTI, scrap it. Well, I can tell you now, I am not going to hold back with my thoughts in the video I'm making, because there's a woman, she has a Vauxhall Corsa. I forget how old it is. It's not a very old one. It's a 1.3 CDTI. It has 60,000 miles on it, and I serviced her car a couple of times. I changed the oil and all that, and I have to drive it to pick her up from town because I have to drop her off. She ain't going to wait for it, you see. And I drive this car, and I'm driving it, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, this car rattles. It's like, is there something wrong with this bloody engine? It's noisy, rattling, and unrefined. And these 1.3 engines, I don't really know jack shit about them, but just my initial observations on them are there's something not good about them. I think they're made very cheaply, and I think they've got major issues. And the one I'm going to take apart, hopefully tomorrow, and I'm going to video it. I've got an idea what's wrong with it, but I'm not going to say. But no, I think these M1.3s are a bad engine. They're a bad all-round engine, and but I'll find out more tomorrow. SDI Automotive S-Max 2-litre 6-speed auto. Does gearbox straight swap or coded program adaptations? Sorry if it's not your field. Well, we don't really do automatics. All I can say is I'm not sure. What I would do, there is a automatic gearbox place. I think they're called Midland Automatics. They're in Kettering, and the guy there, because I had it was a B class Merc. And it's one of them where the engine and automatic gearbox, it all drops out through the bottom on the subframe. They're designed to come out that way. Like if you want to just do the water pump, you've got to drop the whole bloody lot down. This guy at Midland Automatics, I spoke to him about this particular gearbox because we sent it to him and he'd done it up, and he was absolutely brilliant. He really knows his stuff when it comes to autos. So I'd probably just Google them. It's Midland Automatics in Kettering, and the guy who owns that place, he is absolutely fantastic. He really explains things well. He seems to know a lot. Barry Gill, how much would I expect to pay for trailing arm bushes? If that's on a Mark IV, you're probably talking around about £200 to have the pair done. Realistically, just about any garage, I think, unless you've got a mate who can do it cheaper. But hi Barry anyway. Percy LFC, Norway, hello Percy in Norway. Siad Beck, I can't say your name. Oh my God, but Siad, thanks for the comment. Anthony Wild, I have a 2013 S-Max 2-litre TDCi. Is it normal for it to be crashy over speed bumps, etc.? Mine doesn't like them. Crashy over speed bumps. Well, it makes a lot of noise. It shouldn't be, no. A S-Max, no, it shouldn't be. I'd say there's something wrong there. Drop links, shock absorbers, something like that. A good car should go over a speed bump, and really there shouldn't be any kind of like rattling noises or anything. Frankowski, hi Frank. Have you ever had issue with broken head gasket in Mondeo Mark V? Not really, although there are. I think there is a car going. There's one of the taxis going around that I think might have a very slight head gasket leak, but that was like a year and a half ago. It makes the coolant expansion tank go a bit black inside, and they build up quite a bit of pressure. But the car seems to carry on going, and I ain't seen it in a long time, so I'm not particularly worried about it. But no, the head gaskets in their Mark V Mondeos, I swear to God, they are like the best head gaskets I've ever come across. Seriously, you know, the thermostat housings on them cars. We had a woman, and this happens a lot, by the way, but this one that sticks out in mind. This woman driver, the thermostat top hose blew off, okay, and all the water in the engine must have gushed out in the space of like 30 seconds. And she had a passenger in her taxi, and she was in St Ives, which was like 8 miles away from where I am. She dropped her passenger off, then she drove the car with no water in it to the garage and pulled up. And we fitted a new thermostat, and I'm thinking to myself, you've got to be kidding me. This is just trash the engine. Well, I thought I'd better put a thermostat on it first and run it up and see. And it was as right as rain. I couldn't believe it. Them head gaskets, it's like them cars can run without water in them. I've never known nothing like it. I remember cars in the past, bloody hell, overheat once and they'll blow the head gasket. These things, you can lose all the water in the engine and get away with it time and time again. I've never changed a head gasket on a Mark V Mondeo 2-litre diesel. They are good. I know people knock Peugeot engines, but I think these engines, they're some bloody strong engines. They really are. They have a few little like Achilles heels, but generally speaking, they're a good engine. The main problem with them is that everything that's bloody bolted to them, all this emission related stuff, is the EGR valves, the plastic thermos, all these plastic bits that are bolted to them are what is going wrong. The actual engine themselves are pretty strong. Where am I? Matthew, hi Matthew. What's your opinion on the Ford Focus 1.5 TDCi? If it's the same 1.5 TDCi that goes in the Mark V Mondeos, I'd stay away from it. I've heard nothing but bad things about them. I've heard they're bad on head gaskets. No, I'd avoid it. I'm not an expert, but anything 1.5 TDCi, especially when it comes to the Mondeos, I've had bad news. And we have had a few 1.5 Mondeos, and I think we had 2 of them. They weren't taxis, they were sales cars, and they both had blown head gaskets, and they got sold with the blown head gaskets. They were sold off to other people buying taxis on the cheap, so they went with no warranty. They just took them. It saved me a hell of a lot of work. And I believe on them cars, like the EGR valves are buried down the back of the bloody engine. They look an absolute nightmare to change, and they're the same sort of EGR setup as what's on the 2 litres. But obviously a lot harder to change on a 1.5. Joe, this year, every year. Hi, Joe. I heard that Alan can diagnose a Mondeo problem by hearing it 2 miles away. Funny you should say that. Oh, hi, Joe. Yeah, over the years. Well, put it this way: a lot of these taxis, they only have to drive in the yard and up to the door, and I can tell by the engine note what's wrong with them half the time. Yeah, that's sad. I know. D4NZO, it stands for love your vid since no one covers the wet belts. Yeah, if it's the later type wet belts that go in like the transits and that, the Eco Blues and all that, oh my God. We've done one, not a nice job, and there's no way I was going to video it because it's like The only way I'm going to make a video of a wet belt on one of these newer Eco Blue cars is I'd have to have done a few and know exactly what I'm talking about. But the one that we've done at the garage on one of our transits, it was bloody horrible. They've got like a, once you take the main cover off, the wet belt is there, but there's a second wet belt which drives the oil pump, which means you've got to take the sump off as well. And it was a pain in the arse because we had to stand under the bloody sump, so we had to organise trying to hold the engine up in the air. It was a right pain. And we have got the kit. There's a special kit, timing kit, that you do need to change them. Yeah, they're not a nice job. If I ever get around to it, I will do, but I would like an engine out of the vehicle, if you know what I mean. That way I can have it right in front of me. I can aim the camera at it and point out everything. The trouble is, a lot of these cars, you're trying to film something in the car, it's difficult. You can't get the camera at the right angles. Percy, LFC, all Mondeo, aren't we? Yeah, most of you are Mondeo people. Aidin Salis, hi Aidin, from Turkey. You're a taxi mechanic as well. Welcome to the club, Aidin. But hi anyway. Jordan Walker, your videos are the reason I didn't go for any Ford with a wet belt. You made me aware of the horrible design, an expensive one too. Yeah, the Mondeo 1 Mark IV 1.8 TDCi. Yeah, there was only a certain year. I think it was somewhere between 2008 and 2010, something like that. They only made them for a few years. They put the wet belts, which were made in Italy. And do you know what? They say they may put these wet belts to make the engine quieter. I just reckon it was because they were cheaper. The chains that go in before the wet belts and after the wet belts, when they used the chain in the timing casing, it was a double thick chain, and they were never going to break. Never ever going to break. They would last. They would well outlive the bloody car. So why they put them stupid wet belts in, I'll never know. But I reckon it was because it was a lot cheaper design. And obviously, this is why Ford have a big thing with Peugeot, because Ford can't build. From what I've heard, Ford can't build their engines cheap enough. So if they can buy the Peugeot engines cheaper, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because the Peugeot engines, generally speaking, the ones I've come across that are in the Mondeos, they're good engines. But once again, obviously, a lot of the parts that are bolted to the engine is the problem. That's what's going wrong. It's annoying because everything's expensive. Yam Yam Dashcam. Hi Yam Yam. I want a Mark V Mondeo. Is it a good move? If you like a big car, there's nothing wrong with them. If I could take any car and it would have a whole host of different issues. But once again, once you get to start getting high mileage, once you get to sort of like 150,000 miles plus, you're going to start getting problems. For example, if you get like an alternator stop working on one of these Mark Vs, that's £350 for an alternator. It's not cheap. I think at the moment, because of all this Corona stuff, they've been having manufacturing problems. We have a car, well, it's a Mark V, and we need one of the back suspension arms. We can't get it. Ford can't get it. We've got the parts rep looking on Parts Plus all around the country for this arm, and no one's got one. The factory in Germany, they're on back order. So the car just sits there. It's one of them arms where the bush is gone and it's squeaking, and you can't buy the bush separate to the arm. And another thing, EGR valves in these cars, they've just shot up in price. They were like a couple £100. Now they're like nearly £500 for an EGR valve. Yeah, I think this corona stuff has certainly affected the manufacturing process of around the world. Anyway, Dave Hughes, hi Dave, is it coming home? God only knows. It's never going to be an easy match against Germany, that's for sure. It normally ends up in penalties. So maybe get the JD out. it will smooth it if it doesn't come home. Bill Griffiths, does the owner not mind you making videos? The owner of Steve's Taxis is, his name is Steve. I don't think he knows I make videos. No, no, he does. He doesn't really mind. I mean, obviously, it's a case of as long as the work's done, as long as the important stuff is done, then rather than me just pouncing around doing naff all, I'd rather make videos, because I like making videos. That's just the way it is. I mean, he's quite happy with it. Maybe one day I'll get him on video. I've never actually asked him, but I think he might well do actually. One day I might be able to interview him. My boss, he's one of them guys that very old school, dresses in jeans and t-shirt. You'd never know who he was. He does things the old way, and all this new technology, he's only sort of like recently getting accustomed to it. But I think he sees the potential in what video can do, live streaming and video calls and all this way of advertising. Like, he's got his website up and running now for his car sales and his Instagram and everything else. And he sees how it can help his business. And I think he also sees that, I mean, my videos, for what small impact they do have, it does point towards Steve's Taxis and Steve's car sales. And once I get up Steve's car sales, if I find some cars up there, I can sort of like just borrow and run around them, look around them, and explain things on them. It will probably bring more custom to his car sales and his taxi business. So it's all kind of advertising, really. I think he understands all that. And the more customers you get, you know, people talk to other people. And I mean, we like to have, obviously, we want to get sort of like a good reputation. So, so yeah, he doesn't actually mind me doing videos. But obviously, once, like I said, we do get the main work done first. The videos wouldn't take precedence over that. Alan Cobbin, hi Alan. Yeah, I'm good, thanks fella. Brilliant. Kingsley Domfer, hi Alan. Hi Kingsley. Darren Newbold, hi Alan. You should get Monica to answer in the comments. I think I will do next time. I'll drag her into it. Peter Martin, hi Peter. Come on the Reds. Mr. Sonic Advance, hi Mr. Sonic. What are your thoughts on E10 fuel, if you haven't already given your opinion? I think it's like everything else these days. Everything's going down the toilet. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's a bad thing. I've not really looked into it that much, but I think it's just cheap crap. Yeah, I mean, I could have a lot of comment. I could talk a lot about, you take electric cars and stuff like that. Maybe it's just the fact that I've grown up in the petrol era, the 4-star petrol, you know, the high octane petrol, and then you see it get watered down over the years. And then you look at the electric age coming into it now, and I don't know. You see how all this technology is made, and there's so many people talking about these things, and it's costing more to make them than it is for them to have them running over their lifetime. And I don't know. I'd have to look more into stuff like this. But as far as this petrol goes, I think it's just more watered down crap. I will look into it a bit further, but I've not really taken much notice of it at the moment, because obviously all the cars I deal with are diesel, and I drive a diesel van myself, so I don't really have much to do with petrol at the minute, but I will look into that. Siad, is there any email or anything we can send you questions? I do have an email, but I don't want it getting flooded. I can't even answer the comments on YouTube half the time. No, the best thing to do is to get hold of me is just send me just send it on the comments on here on YouTube. I'm terrible, I know, but I will. I keep saying this, I'll never do it, but I will try. I think what I'm probably best doing, because there's so many videos out there and I get so many comments, and believe me, when I sit here of an evening and I've got like 500 comments in front of me, I'm like typing away trying to answer some of them, and it's like flipping heck. I feel like a bloody zombie after I've done it. So maybe I should just put a live stream every so often and try and answer the comments. That's probably the best way to go, because you'll probably miss a lot of people will miss them, but I will try to get to these comments as much as I can. Leo Oreski, hi Leo, Gratins from Croatia. Oh, you got a 1.5, a Mark 5 1.5. Well, I hope it stays in one piece and goes well for you. I hope it lasts. Dave Hughes, yes, Percy. Toey, hi Toey. Ian H, best diesel engine, Alan, 1.8 TDDI or 2 litre TDCI. They're both good engines, but either really. But I actually do like the 2 litre TDCI Peugeot engine. I think they're a good engine. I think if they're looked after properly and you have the oil changes done with the correct oil at the right time, them engines will last you the life of the car, especially the Mark IV Mondeos. They seem to be more reliable than the Mark Vs with a 2 litre PSA engine. But there again, they've got less on them to go wrong. They haven't got this bloody huge, great big EGR valve and all bloody silly electronic thermostat. Duke of Devon, evening. Hi, Duke of Devon. Steve Rotherham. Hi, Steve. How are you? Where Julian Gimbasu? Where is Monica? She's not here. She doesn't live with me. Peter Martin, hi Peter. He can't understand if Monica wants the spanner. I should put her in a bloody pair of overalls again and let her do the job. I'm sure we would all love to see that. Mocco 2802, Mondeo's rule, especially Mark III. I do have a personal soft spot for the Mark III Mondeos. I do like them. They were even the TDCIs when they were flipping heck. The 2 litre, they were nuts. I'd never known a diesel to be so bloody quick. I mean, this was back in the year 2000 when they come out. Holy, I mean, the cars we had, they were the TDIs with the old. They had an electronic fuel pump, sort of like high pressure pump. It wasn't a high pressure pump. It was like the old rotary diesel pump. They were slow, but they lasted forever. But the TDCIs that followed on, flipping heck, they were quick cars. They were like rapid, nuts. They were right on the edge, some of them. Dave Burrows. Hi, Dave. Thank you very much. Repsol 160. Hi, Repsol. Carl GB. Hi, how are you? Silvio Paisaghi. Hi, Sylvia. Silvio. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Siad Bektezovic. Greetings from Monte Crow. Hi, Siad. Guy Kent. Love what you do. Own a 2006 Focus Mark II gear, 2 litre. Is it the same engine as in the Mondeo? It depends what year Mondeo. If you got a 2006 Focus, 2 litre, it won't be the same engine as what is in the Mark V Mondeo, that's for sure. I'm not exactly sure what year range you're referring to, but no, not the same as a Mark V. That's definitely not. John Ison, hi John. Glenn, good evening, Glenn. Marcus Jeff, hi Marcus. 2 litre Eco Blue Transit cam belt. Yeah, I think I've covered that. We've done one. Not a nice job. Horrible job. If I had an engine on one of them transits out of the car, out of the van, I would 100% do a video on it. Mind you, I can see in time one of them engines will go bang, and then I will get it. Mario Meggia, you are the Ford Mondeo guy. I know a little bit about Mondeos. I wouldn't say I'm that good. It's just that I have to deal with this every day. So obviously I get to sort of like deal with a certain number of problems on them. But there's also, I mean, there must be a ton of problems that I don't get to hear about. Automotive Solutions, your videos keep me sane. They're not intended to keep you sane. That's why I put the mad bits in them. I actually, the bits I prefer making in the videos are the silly bits, because I am actually silly by nature. Yam Yam Dashcan, howdy. How are you, Yam Yam? John Ison, hi. Stu Moose, how are you doing? Bill Griffiths, Alan, what you like at welding? Bloody terrible. I have done some nice bead of welding in the past when I actually get a bit of practice, but it's sort of like most of my welding is bird shit on top of bird shit, but we don't even do it hardly any welding anymore. We've got a welder, but we hardly ever use it. Not like the past. We had some guys used to work here. He was, if he's watching, Barry, you're bloody good at welding. But I'm not. I never sort of like really bothered with welding. I was terrible at it. I'd have to have a lot of practice to sort of like do a good like seam. But you look at some of these motorbike frames and stuff like that on the aluminium where they weld it all up and it's all like nice. Takes a lot of practice to do that. JJ Giroux, what engine specs you running in your taxis? Oh God, I'll have to look on the bloody logbooks. I'm not sure off the top of my head. It's something I haven't really taken much notice of. I think they must be the lowest powered ones. They won't be the high spec ones, the high horsepower ones. They'll be the lowest. Because they are the basic models. They're pretty quick for what they are, though, I must admit. Laser Capri high, might drop in with a Capri one day. Yes, bloody hell, please do that. Let's get a photo op going. Hell, shit, let's put it on video as well. Yeah, if you've got something fancy, just run it in. Oh my God, yes. Any excuse to get the camera out, you've got to do it. You've got to make all these memories. Lulian Gimbo, watching you every time, thank you. Carl GB, because it's a Ford. Rust Andy, 40,000 miles. Oh, it's not even run in. Chris Newell, thanks for your vids. Well, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Skull 5, love the channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Skull 5. Sorry, my other screen keeps sort of like wanting to go into sleep mode. I have all the questions on the screen over here, but I'm not doing a very good job at answering them. I'm just still trying to run down everybody on this live stream. Marinus Appledune, regards from Netherlands. Thank you, Marinus. Ben Evans. Hi Ben, thank you for all your comments. I do read your comments. I'm very well, thank you very much. I hope you're well and good as well. Everything is going great. As much as I bloody hate this coronavirus pandemic bullshit, the one thing I will say, I've apart from certain other aspects of things that have gone wrong, I've never been so well off, which is maybe that's the lack of spending money. But I guess I've been lucky to still have a job. Really, I guess there's a lot of people that have been put out of work through this, especially in like the hospitality sector and all that. I don't know whether the government sort of like kept their wages up. I know they were paying them 80%, but I think a lot of people have been out of work through this and fell on hard times. I have no idea how the state of the country and what people are going through, because I live in a very like small circle. I don't see that many people. But yeah. But anyway, thank you very much, Ben. Nice to hear from you. Niall Dalio, hi Alan. I'm getting my rear trailing arm bushing both done tomorrow on a Mark IV. How much do you think? 220 at the most. That's what we would charge, unless it's mates rates, of course. But yeah, I should say that a ballpark figure around about 200. Marcus Jeff, hi Marcus. Sized lifters. Paul Hughes, great channel. Thank you, Paul. Multi Fuzzy Head. I've not heard your channel before yet. What do you reckon to a Mark 7 Fiesta? Well, it's just like all these cars. They're getting better all the time. I don't think you can really go far wrong these days. The only cars I really had as in Ford go was the first KAs that come out that were rusting away really quickly. God only knows what they were making them of, but they have much improved them since, which is a good thing. But yeah, I don't think you could go wrong with a Fiesta. if you're into like a small car, the 1.25 engine is a proven engine. So yeah, I still think it's fine. The main thing I used to sort of like have on cars is corrosion, but it doesn't really seem to be the case anymore. I mean, even like when I go back to the Mondeos, the Mark 1s, 1, 2, and 3, all had sort of like corrosion issues. But as soon as you get to the Mark 4, the corrosion seemed to have went away. The Mark 5, I've not seen any corrosion from the Mark 5 yet. And you go back in cars 5, 6 years old from years ago, they'd already be starting to rust, but they don't seem to do it anymore. So they've much improved whatever they're making them of, combination of metal, and God only knows what they put in it. D4NZO, England won, Alan. Did they? Woohoo! They beat Germany. D4NZ, I'll take your word for that. I don't know because I've got no news going on here, but if they did win, then fantastic. Saddle saw budget bike rescue. Football is boring. I used to watch football a long time ago. I used to like watching Manchester United. Well, I haven't watched it myself for a long time. I don't actually follow a club anymore anyway, but I would the only football I really like watching is the World Cup. We beat Alan Cobbin, we beat Germany, right? That's two people now that says it's over. Beat Germany. Oh my God, it didn't go to penalties. Flipping it, that'll be a first. Well done England then. Well done England football team. It's surprising they've gone this far actually. Rust Andy, cheers for that, Alan. Like I said, 40,000 miles. I also thought it was due to wrong oil, worn tappets. Yeah, it probably is. Depends who's. Well, it depends how long you've had the car and who's been changing the oil in it. Sometimes you get even these modern cars, if they're lease cars, they'll just put crap oil in it anyway. They won't care. Martin Smith, are the new Tornado vans running the same engine as the Mark V Mondeos? We have a fleet of 2020 customs and have nothing but bother. No, I don't think they are. They're not. They're these Eco Blue engines. They're Ford's own design, and they're bad design from what I'm hearing. They have a lot of issues. I've heard nothing but horror stories. And they've got wet belts. They've gone back to a wet belt design, which is supposed to be changed at 140 something thousand miles, but they've been snapping before that. The van, we've got a few of these vans, and they've all got these like Eco Blue engines in them. I don't know. I haven't had much engine trouble really, but I mean, we do change the oil and service them properly. But the wet belts are not a very nice thing to do, and they're going to be an expensive. When you get to like 130,000, 140,000 miles, that's going to be one heck of an expensive job to get that done. Adam Toms, hello Adam. Bill Griffiths, Alan, we think you fancy Moni. Are we right? No, you're not right. She's my lovely friend, and but that's it. We're just friends. Gralex, England won 2-0. Woo! That's 3 people, so that confirms it. England have won. England have beat Germany. Yam Yam Dashcam, you're in Wolverhampton. Well, hello Yam Yam. Joe Azopard, hello Joe. Jordan Walker, co-worker, you guys definitely have a bit of chemistry going on. Yeah, that's me, isn't it? Because I like to sort of like, I like to make the videos interesting if I can, even if it means getting a bit naughty. You know how it is. I get to that stage in my life where I don't really care what I say. I just say it. I haven't got a slap round the face yet, so, so I'll keep on doing it. Matthew Butt, hi Matthew. What is your opinion on the Ford Focus 1.5 TDCi? People keep saying this. I've not had much experience on them, but every 1.5 TDCi I've come across, I've had head gasket issues, so I avoid them. So if you're thinking of buying one, I wouldn't. Not a 1.5. Get a 2 litre. Saddle Saw Budget Bike Rescue. Hello, Alan, from someone local. Well, hello. Peter Martin. She's worth a wallop. She does weightlifting. She'll give you a wallop. I see you've seen her lift them weights up. I couldn't. I'd probably break my back trying to lift what she lifts. Dave Hughes, you don't know it yet, but I'm coming to you next year for my timing belt. Oh, that's okay. I'll do that, no problem. Bill Boyd, hi Bill. Love the channel, learned a lot for my car from YouTube. Well, thank you, Bill. I will keep it up as long as I can. Saddle Saw, do you work on bicycles? I don't want to sound like an idiot, but I could never get my head around them derailleur gears. But I have worked on a few bicycles. I don't know that much, but obviously, I mean, I can do a bit on them. If there's anything I can do, I will have a go at it myself first. And if I can't do it, then I will find someone else who can do it. But yeah, I've got a nice. It's my son's bike. He's got a Carrera Vulcan. We bought it out of Halfords. It's been a good bike. It hasn't gone wrong yet. What else we got? Colm Riley. My clock spring is gone. How much do Ford charge? Depends. 2 litre TDCi. Is that a Mark IV or a Mark V? If it's a Mark V, I think the clock springs are about £80, and they're a piece of piss to change. I just pull the steering wheel off, the airbag out, pull the steering wheel off, and the surround around the column, and then there's only sort of like 4 little torque screws, and they pop them off. They're easy. So you shouldn't charge a lot. I'd change a clock spring on a Mark V in 20 minutes flat, easy, no problem. MK Davo, is anything better than be a 1.9 PDI diesel engine? No, I'd say that's a bloody good engine. I don't know, but that is a good engine. Marco De La Pena. Hi, Marco. I have a quick question. My old Mark III 2 litre petrol, 180,000 miles, is in fact spraying oil and blowing quite a lot of air when I remove the oil filler cap. What could be going wrong? You may have a bit of compression going past the piston rings and going into sort of like the crankcase and causing pressure inside the engine. The sign that the engine's on its last legs. That can cause problems. There's a story. This is going back some years now. I think it's an old Mazda or something. It had a lot of compression going past the rings and into the crankcase, and it was building up that much pressure. It was pissing oil out of the manifold and out of the rocker cover as well onto the exhaust manifold. And I had to drive this car from Alconbury to Huntingdon, to behind the Law Protector car park, and I had to stop halfway with some water to put the fire out on the exhaust manifold. Then when I got to my destination, which is only like 5 miles from where I started, we parked the car up, and literally, I swear to God, the oil filler cap, it flipping blew off the top of the bloody rocker cover. It went for bang. That's how much pressure was built up. And that was basically the compression going past the rings and into the crankcase. But the PCV valve, I believe on them Mark IIIs, there really isn't much in them. I've taken one off, there was nothing in it. So I can't see it being clogged. It's like a big breather plate that bolts onto the behind the inlet manifold. And there was nothing in it. What else? PCV clogged up. Actual wear in the piston rings, or as you mentioned in the video, has the oil pump, chain and tensioner started. No, I wouldn't say it's a PCV valve. I'd say it's piston rings. And them engines, by the way, when they do get a bit of mileage on them, they do burn a bit of oil. Then they knock the cats out because the oil was going down the exhaust on the catalytic converters. So they are sort of like oil burning engines. They are good engines, but like I say, once they do get some miles on them, they will burn oil. Reese Warner, hi Reese. I think it's great what you do. Don't see a lot of videos on YouTube on repairing Mondeo Mark V. Me having the Mark V 1.5 diesel, is there anything I need to keep an eye at? Yeah, head gasket. I've heard nothing but horror stories on the 1.5 diesels. Although a guy came in the other day, he's got a 1.5, and he said no problem at all. But the two we've had, which were sales cars, both had blown head gaskets. And when I started looking on the internet, all I saw was avoid the 1.5 engine. Plus, it's an underpowered engine for the size of the car. If you were to get into a 2-litre diesel and compare it to 1.5, you'll only half see the difference in power. But I guess there's nothing you can do about it. If you've got the 1.5, just keep it serviced properly. Keep an eye on your water level in case you get any leaks. Don't let it run low on water. I know the 2 litres, they can run forever with no water in them. They seem to be able to run without water, no problem. They won't do the head gasket in. The 1.5s, I think, are quite a lot weaker, and they've got a cam belt, I believe. Yeah, I know the 1.6s have got a cam belt. They're a Peugeot engine. I don't know. The 1.6s I think are okay, but I don't know. I've not had that much experience with the 1.5s, but I haven't heard much good news from them, if you know what I mean. So I'd be sort of like a little bit careful with it. Joe Chaplin, hi Joe. Bill Griffiths, hi Bill. How long have you worked for Steve's Garage? Bloody hell. Since I can more than I can count with my hands and feet. It was since the early 1990s. A long time I've worked there. It wasn't at the garage we're at now. It was we're in like a Alconbury village. There's a guy there. I won't say his name, but he built a yacht in his back garden. He has got a house and he's got a garage, and we were in his garage. He rented it to us, the boss, and he literally built a yacht in his back garden. And he had a crane it over, take it down to the Southampton, wherever it was, and he put it on the ocean. And he goes out in it now, and it looks lovely. It looked like bloody Noah's Ark before it was painted, but once it was all painted and everything, it looked really nice. This guy is one of these guys. He could do anything. He would do upholstery, welding. He restored historic cars. He's one of these guys who could literally, you'd give him anything and he would do it. Brilliant. Robert, oh dear, I've lost where I was again now. Johan Vermeulen. Hi, Joe. Steve Roberts. What causes the steering wheel wobble when going over bumps? 2 litre C-Max. No idea. No idea. It depends. I'd have to sort of like experience that, what kind of wobble you're talking about there. Darren Newbold, would you buy an electric car? No, I bloody well wouldn't. I'm not, as far as electric cars go at the minute, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. But when I get some more information on them, then I may change my mind. I guess that's the way the world's going anyway, so I guess we're all going to be stuck with it sooner or later. Stud 196761, same here, all a big change. Yep. Wayne Newcomb, hi Alan, your videos are a good view. Just by curiosity, what's Monica's accent? She's Czech. I can't say Czechoslovakia. You got to say Czech because it was split, weren't it? But she's Czech. Joe Azopard. Hi, Joe. Where do you get your parts from? We have, because most of the cars were pretty new, we have Ford Impress stock. So the Ford dealer the rep will come down and he'll fill our stores with brand new Ford parts. We do get discount. So, and it, in a lot of cases, it's comparable to what you would get from motor factors. They have to be competitive on price, but you've got to watch them. You've certainly got to watch them, because if you don't, they'll rip you off. But yeah, the taxis, we stick to Ford parts. Anything else, then it's anything goes, really. David Cramrish, hi David. Do you have any Mark V Mondeos with the Eco Blue diesel engine? And what is your experience with the quirks of the engine? We don't have any Mark V Mondeos with that engine. None. And I don't think we ever will, because after this current lot of Mark Vs are finished with, they ain't going to be replaced with Fords, I'm sure. There's more going on with this taxi business than I've said, but I can't. It's not really my place to say at the minute. But no doubt in time I'll come out with it. But yeah, we won't be having any of them Eco Blue engines. That's pretty much a certainty. Billy Armstrong, hi Billy. Would you ever think of doing a project car like a Mark II? That's the kind of thing you'll do at home or in your garage. It's not the type of thing we would take on. I mean, I know I took on the ST220, but that was a specific set of things to do on it. We would do something like that if we had the time, but it's finding the time, that's the problem. But yeah, something like that, I would. If I had a car like a Mark II Mondeo that was in really good condition, and I had the facilities and I had the time, yeah, I would do it. Just for the interest of it. Alexandros Rasmus, if I'm right, England wants by 2030 change all cars to electric. They probably do.
What are you doing?
It's a live stream.
Why are there two?
Well, because I've got comments on this side of the computer, and I've got the live stream on this side of the computer.
You should get a monitor set up, not a Mac set up.
Ronan, what do you think of the 1.6 PSA engine? I've not had much experience of them. They haven't been too bad, but once again, compared to the 2 litre, they're underpowered. That's the problem. How's your feet, mate?
That's all right.
You want to change them dressings later?
Yeah. I'll do it tomorrow morning.
Okay. Mark Burrows, hi Mark. I've got Dan. I remember Steve when he lived down Cowper Road. He was hard working. Cowper, did he? I never knew he lived down Cowper Road. I'll quiz him tomorrow on that then. I thought he was in Sawtry. He may have lived down Cowper Road. I'll find that one out. I'll ask him. Yeah. Shield Destroyer. Hi, Shield. The jabbed are going to go down in history as the biggest genocide in all history. I guess it will teach the rest why you never bend over when tyranny comes along. Well, I'm not going to have my jab because I don't. The way I see this vaccine, why would I want to have a vaccine when I've got what's called an immune system? And I know that if I get coronavirus, my immune system will deal with it. So I don't need to take that stupid vaccine. But at the end of the day, they've put you in a situation where if you want to get in an airplane and go to another country, chances are you cannot be able to bloody well do that, are you? That you're going to have to show that you've had this bloody jab. It's all wrong. No, I understand what you're saying. It's scam of the century to me, this is. But what can we do? Towie, Cougar 1.5. Multi-fuzzy head, what's your opinion on the Ford EcoBoost? I've not had much to deal with the EcoBoost. I've heard lots of bad stories, but I don't know for certain because not had enough experience on them to give a balanced opinion, really. Malk, LOL, hi Malk. I think Volvo have stopped making diesel altogether. Don't know. I thought Volvos were always petrol to start with anyway, weren't they? I know Volvos are good cars. Phil 1969. Good evening, Phil. Susie B, what was your opinion of the later Mark III 2.2 TDCi? Bloody quick. If you like a nuts diesel on the edge, yeah, they were quick, very fast. But the problem is they knock out fuel injectors, which are not cheap, and they also knock out high pressure fuel pumps. But yeah, good cars, good engines. Martin Smith, hi Martin. How are your Tornios getting on? We have a fleet of 2020 customs, nothing but bother. I keep hearing that. We've got I don't know, there's 3 or 4 Tornio customs. They haven't done many miles apart from one. There's only one that the taxi driver must bloody live in it. I don't think he's got a life outside the bloody cab of it. It's done well over 150,000 miles now. It's had the clutch go. We've done the cam belt, the wet belt on it, flipping horrible. It's been to Ford a few times. It's had EGR valves go. I must say the engine hasn't been that much trouble. We had a lot of trouble with the timing, the alternator belt. The tensioner broke up and came all loose and put a hole in the bloody timing casing. But engine-wise, it hasn't been too bad. The other Eco Blues we've got, they've been all right at the minute. Time will tell, but they're all low mileage. So most of them are under 50,000 miles. So they haven't really done enough to sort of show any main problems. But if anything sort of like does come along, I'll be sure to let you know. Corrigine 71, 290k miles on a Peugeot Boxer 2 litre. Is this in usual? Should I change the timing chain and gearbox oil? I'll definitely change the gearbox oil at that mileage. Depends what year it is. We've had if it's like the Mark 5 year from 2015 onwards, then it probably would need a chain doing. But if it's sort of like before 2014, unless you're hearing any strange noises from the chain area, I'd leave it alone. They tend to be with on our Mark 4s, the 2 litre diesels, PSA engines. A lot of them are done 300 plus thousand miles. Had no chain issues or chain tensioner issues whatsoever. Cooper S. Hi Cooper, got a Mark 3 1.8 Zetec petrol with 150,000 miles, but burns oil. Any ideas on fixing this? Not really, apart from another engine, or you'd have to take the pistons out, get it machined, I guess, or rebore it, put a new set of piston rings in it, might help it. Maybe a set of oversized piston rings if they do them. It'd still be an awful lot of work to do to stop a bit of oil burning. Not an easy fix. And I'm not, the jury's out on all these chemicals you can put in the oil to stop it burning oil. I'm not sure they work or not. I don't think they do in most cases. Mocco 2802 TDDI. I got 140 out of one. Why, Reg? A TDDI. That's the old like rotary pump diesel. Yeah. They live forever because they were like they weren't the quick ones. They got the diesel injectors with the they weren't the electronic ones. They weren't the common rail ones. Yeah, them bloody things. I never ever. We had a whole bunch of Y registered year 2000 Mark 3s with a 2 litre TDDIs, and them things. I never ever changed an injector, not once. Them bloody engines, well, and the injectors would last forever. They were brilliant. They were slow, but they did last well. Catafif 86. Are there any plans to replace the fleet with hybrid or electric cars, as this is where the market seems to be heading? Don't know. The future of Steve's taxis is kind of uncertain at the minute. I don't know. I don't know what's coming. I'll probably say what's going on with the company at some point in the future, but I can't really say at the moment. After what we've got now, I don't know what's going to happen. When I do, I'll be sure to say something. Mark Burrows, I have a 2.2 TDCI ST Mark III. That's nice. Mark III. I do like the Mark IIIs. Neville Bounds. What's the highest mileage you've ever seen on a Steve's Taxis Mondeo? Oh, God. I think we've had them just shy of 400,000 before they went. Still running. And that I think was on a Mark III. Russ Castile. Hi, Russ. So I'm sure you've done plenty of Mark III Duratec clutch. How long does it take for you to do one? Believe it or not, all the Mark IIIs we've got now are automatics because they're all rentals. the Americans from the RAF Alconbury. That's why we must have like 50, 60 Mark III Mondeos, and they're all autos, because the Americans rent them. They like their automatics. But the clutches we used to do on the 2 litre TDCIs and TDDIs, I'd have one of them done in, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, something like that. I wouldn't now, because I'm slower now. No, I have too many tea breaks in between, so I don't rush anymore. But yeah, as long as the bolts come out and nothing's seized in, they're quite an easy job. Once the subframe's off, they're pretty straightforward. It's like everything. Once you know exactly what bolt to go to next, it saves a lot of time. You know exactly what spanner to pick up. As long as you've got the right tools in your hands and you know what you're doing, they don't take long. Semil Sihun, hi. How can I change fuel filter Ford Transit Connect 2013? Buy one. I think there's one thing I will say. A lot of these fuel filters, if you're unsure, especially in these diesels, if you get a new fuel filter, if you can, get a little funnel and fill it up with diesel. Fill it up as much as you can with diesel, and then put it on, put the pipes back on, and chances are it will start. If you put an empty fuel filter onto the pipes and it hasn't got an in-tank fuel pump to feed the fuel through, you could have hell of all trouble trying to get that vehicle started again. So do that. Fill it up with diesel first. White Diesel Shed. Hello, White Diesel Shed. Not quite the same. It's belt driven, not a chain. Okay. Russ Castile. Hi. So I'm sure you've done plenty of Mark III Mondeo clutch dual mass flywheel. Oh, I've just done that one, haven't we? 3 or 4 hours. Stud 196761. Mark II Mondeo drive shafts was a pig job on a 1996. I think they've always been tricky, the passenger one, to get out of the gearbox, just to hook it out. You need a bloody good bar to give it a good jolt. I've struggled with them in the past. Neil Smith, hi Neil. I have a Mark IV 1.6 TDCI. What's your opinion? I'm changing the oil every 6,000 miles. There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel you need to change the oil at 6,000, and remember, once upon a time, 6,000 miles was a replacement interval. These days, you've got all these high mileage intervals between oil changes. I mean, I know the oil's not cheap, but there's no harm in changing it every 6,000. And a lot of it depends on your driving style as well. If you're doing motorway driving, you can let it go for longer. But if you're doing a lot of stop-start around town, I would change it quicker. SDI Automotive, hi. To write about back orders waiting a few bits from Germany. It's been weeks now. Parts ordered but back ordered. We think it's a combination of virus and Brexit. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. God only knows. We never get the answers, do we? You don't even know, I don't understand how they can't supply a bloody suspension arm for a Mondeo. It's been like 2 months now I've been waiting. And like I say, we've got the main Ford parts rep going around the country in all their systems and Parts Plus everywhere to try and find this one suspension arm, and they haven't got any. It's a bloody nightmare. And the price of some of these parts are going through the roof. Mark Knights, hi Mark. You're talking to a recording. Probably. Sham, where's Monica? She's not here. She doesn't live here. I will see if she'll join me on a live stream in a later date. We'll sort something out. I was thinking at some point to hook up a computer at the garage and just run a live stream. Just switch it on, let it run. You know, I can just arse about in front of the camera as I go past every time. I might show something interesting every sort of like hour. Corrigine 71. Hi, Corrigine. Greetings from Ireland. Hello there in Ireland. Highest mileage on a Mark 5 2-litre diesel. Mine has 290k. Peugeot Boxer. We've got a few of them with over 350,000 miles now. Yep. I think there's one or two Mark 5s going about on our taxi fleet with 350,000 miles or just above. So it won't be long. They're 15 plates as well, so it won't be long before they're going. Or the engine will blow up first, and they'll get a new lease of life. But the engines for them Mark 5s, they're bloody expensive now. Trying to find them is pretty hard as well. The last one we got, which was like best part of £2,000, that was a good engine, mind you, but it's still a lot of money to pay for a used engine. Scott's Pie 501. Hi, loving the video, but why would you buy a Ford now? I can't answer that because I don't buy a Ford. I just have to work on them. I just have to work on what I'm giving. I guess it's everyone to their own, really. I used to own a Ford Scorpio. You know, the bug eye, the fugly, the one everyone hated. It was an ugly car, but in my eyes, it was beautiful. No one else saw it that way though, but I did. Kevin Buckler, I really love watching you. Thank you, Kevin. MA, hi Alan, do you think there are any good cars being made anymore? Cars of today have a short lifespan, become disposable. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You get a brand new car these days, you'll get a load of paperwork with it, giving you the recyclability of it. It kind of puts you off, really. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to know how much recyclability the car is. I think, I don't know, if I look at, take a Mark 5 Mondeo, from brand spanking new, that car should last a long time if it's looked after. A lot. And if you go back to the days of the Ford Cortina, a Cortina would probably be rotted out in the first 10 years. One of these Mark 5s won't be rotted out. As long as you replace what goes wrong with them engine-wise and suspension-wise, well, then much goes wrong with suspension. But as long as you service them well, there's no reason why these modern ones shouldn't last a hell of a long time. I mean, these cars that I'm working on, they're taxis, and there are still a lot of good drivers out there, but some of the drivers are just animals. They'll just rag them into the ground, but they still keep going. As long as we keep repairing them, they still keep going. So I think that the quality of the actual cars, the bodywork especially, and the suspension are massively improved from years ago. On these Mark 5 Mondeos, I do next to nothing in the way of suspension work. Hardly even wheel bearings. I've only changed a few. They seem to do pretty well. So I guess it depends what type of car it is, though. I guess there are some light cheap cars out there that you can buy new, and in a few years' time they start falling to pieces. But then again, it depends how they're used. Luke B, Hi Luke, I have 2010 Fiesta and my driver's seat won't move forward when I pull the handle. Well, I did put out a video on that. If it's the same sort of design, then plastic handles at the top of the seat. The bloody stupid plastic bits break, and you have to replace the handle. And they're my pet hate because they're a pain in the ass to change. But I did put out a video on my channel that how you can change the handle. So, but I think on all Fiestas that I've known of, they've got the same seat tilt handles, and they're bloody forever breaking. They're they're a bit of a weak design. Mark Burrows, hi Mark. What engine would you go for in a Mark IV Mondeo? I would go for the 2-litre PSA engine, the Peugeot engine. I would have never said that years ago. I never used to like Peugeot engines, but the ones they put in these Mondeos, they've done ever so well, especially in the Mark IVs. Like I say, must have like 20 odd Mark IVs left, and they have really done high mileage, and them engines are sweet, really nice. They've all been serviced well though, and the oil change is done, but they bloody hell they've done well. Daniel Baker, hi Daniel. I did a Mark 1 C-Max 2-litre 6-speed dual mass and clutch on my drive. Flipping heck. Well done. That was something, wasn't it? I bet that took you some time. I used to do that. I used to jack cars up outside where I live and flipping put on axle stands, and I would drag gearboxes and shit like that out on the road outside where I live. Oh my God. Yeah. No, well done. As long as you know what you're doing, just think of all that money you saved, not paying somebody else to do it. Harry White, hi Harry. Hi, I really love watching you. Thank you, Harry. JJ Giroux, do you miss changing the auxiliary drive belt tensioner pulleys and bottom pulleys on the old Mark III? No, I bloody well don't. They were horrible. They're on them particular tensioners on their Mark III 2 litres, the TDCIs. I've got an Allen key, and it's sort of like hacksawed off, so it's short. So I'd get it down there, and I would undo the Allen key screw, so the tensioner would like come away from the timing casing just a little bit, so you could slip the belt between it. But no, oh flipping heck, they were horrible. Randy Fellis, hi Randy. I would like to know DPF in Ford Focus Mark V caused increase sump level. It shouldn't do. I know Mazdas do. They make the oil level rise. I find that very disturbing. But no, it shouldn't do. I would say more than anything, you've probably got, it could be a high pressure fuel pump leaking the, if it goes into the, I'm not actually sure. If it's got the high pressure fuel pump that goes into the camshaft, the fuel can leak through the pump into the camshaft area, into the engine, and then go into the sump. So I'd get that looked at, because if the oil level's rising in that Focus, it shouldn't be. I know some cars are specifically designed for the oil level to rise because of the DPF, the way it's done, but that shouldn't be on a Ford. Marco, hi Marco, I think you should award yourself with a cold beer for this nice. I don't have no beer, unfortunately. I was going to buy some JD, but I didn't even get around to that. So I've got raspberry Lucozade. In actual fact, I don't really drink anymore. Very rarely do I have any alcohol. And when I do have alcohol on the video, as that's part of a joke, I'll buy a beer especially for the video just to act a twat. I used to smoke. Bloody hell, I smoked cigarettes for years. I gave that up. I used to love smoking, but no, I'd be dead by now if I carried on smoking. So, and then I started buying some alcohol. Then I realised I was spending far too much on alcohol. It was just like exchanging one bad habit for another. So I stopped that as well. No, I try and live well these days. I try and do the right thing. I try and stay healthy. I spent much of my life not being healthy, so but I will have the occasional drink. But thanks, I will get a beer. I do like a beer occasionally. Simon Smith, hi Simon. Cooper S, be honest, do you fancy Monica? Oh, come on. Who doesn't fancy Monica, for God's sake? She's a very pretty young lady. I mean, she's up for grabs, so if anyone wants to chat her up, I don't. She keeps her private life sort of like private, so I don't really know what goes on. But as long as she keeps on with the videos, then I'm fine. Jesus Messer, hi. 80% of Latinos are mechanics, but you are the teacher. Oh, well, thanks. Harry White, keep up the work. Thank you, Harry. Wayne Brigham, hi Wayne, how are you? David Norman, hi David. Have you had any experience of a Peugeot 508 2-litre HDI? No. Nope. The only experience I'd probably have one of them is to be to give it an MOT test, and I don't actually do many MOTs anymore. Mark Burrows, hi Mark. I would have to get my dad to come down with his Mark 1 Ford Escort. It's Mexico. Yes, please bloody do. That would be great. I remember the Mark 1 Escort Mexicos, and they've got this lovely sound to them as you like give it through the gears. They were nice cars. Oh my God, those were the days. I wish that we were still living in them days with them cars. They were brilliant. The Mark 1 Escorts, I actually preferred the Mark 1s to the Mark 2s. But they all had their own individual styles back then. I don't know, these days a lot of cars seem to sort of like blend in. But back then they were all different. I was a big Mark 3 Ford Cortina fan. Jesus Messer, Professor. Cheers. Martin B, love the channel. Really look forward to your videos. Well, the next video is going to be about a Vauxhall. I have to get this Vauxhall one in because it's really sort of like it was a problem. So I think it was worth talking about. Finglisham, hi. I have a Mark III, had it 15 years out of its 16. It is a 2-litre petrol estate, done 77,000 miles, just past MOT. What problem should I expect? Well, at 77,000 miles, not bloody much. The Mark III was good. The main thing on them, that I can ever remember, was sticking handbrake cables, seizing up handbrake cables. Maybe a few caliper problems. The bushes in the rear in the rear subframes. That's about it. Not much. They were pretty sound cars. Oh, tell a lie. Broken coil springs. Yeah, they can break and the car's not even moving. It can just be standing still in the car park and the spring will just break. But yeah, not a lot goes wrong with them. They're pretty sound cars. Stephen Eggington, hi Stephen. What's the worst job you've had to do at Steve's Taxis? My brain is fried. I'm not. I don't even know. What is the worst job I've ever had to do? I can't even remember. I've had so many bad jobs over the years. I'll have to get back to you on that one. But I kind of see things these days as whatever might look bad. I don't rush it. I'll just do it bit by bit and get it done, because it's if it's something that's bad, then it's interesting. A lot of jobs you'll look at and you'll think, oh my God, how could I possibly do that? This looks like a nightmare. But once you actually get into it, it's actually not that bad. But I've been in quite a few what would have been catch 22 situations where you think, I don't know how to get out of this situation. But like I say, all the bad cars that we've done over the years and all the problems we've had, they're all over with. They're all gone. They all got resolved. But yeah, I'll have to think about that one. I can't actually think off the top of my head what the worst job I've ever done was. There will be something. I'll get back to you on that one. Wayne Brigham. Hi, Wayne. Hi, Alan. You made me get my cam belt done. Great videos. Yep, it's worth doing. You don't want that snapping on you. That'll cause you a whole load of money. Jules 2650 came across your channel when looking how to do a wet belt on a TDCI. Pig of a job, yep, but loved ever since. Keep up the good work. Them 1.8 TDCI wet belts, because we had a whole fleet of cars, and one of them broke down one day, and we didn't know why it broke down. And when we took the sump bung out, there were like rubber teeth coming out of the sump, cam belt teeth coming out of the sump, and we still couldn't work it out, because we thought that they had chains in the bottom, like you would think they did, because they were the crankcase. And it was only when it finally dawned on us that there was a wet belt there, that we used to change them. Like we changed our entire fleet of taxis for chain conversions, and I had like a bench with all the tools lined up, and I would do one of them chain conversions in about just over 3 hours per car. It would take me. But long after we'd done all that, because I never back in them days of 2007, 2008, I never owned a camera. But that was even before YouTube, wasn't it? Wasn't YouTube around about 2009? Just before? Maybe a bit before, I'm not sure. But I never even thought of recording anything. But it was only years later I decided sort of like to make the video on that wet belt. That was the one car I really wanted to speak about, because it was the one job that stuck in my mind that nobody was talking about. So that's the video that actually started this channel. But anyway, thanks, Jules. Vent Sislav 500 with genuine Ford parts. Good. Cappy, I got a Mondeo Mark IV here in Norway. Thanks for showing me much about fixing them. It's a pleasure. Ian Thomas, thanks for some great videos. Always interesting and entertaining. Thank you, Ian. Randy Fellis, my Ford Focus run over by its own. My Ford Focus run over by its oven due to fuel contamination. How much it would cost to refurbish the engine? God only knows. We don't do refurbishment on the engines. We just get another engine. Because you take an engine to a engine refurbishing place, and it'd probably cost you £1,000, I should think. Depends what it needs doing to it. When you can just go out and buy a good used engine with low mileage. Stick another engine in, it's quicker. As long as you know you're getting a good used engine from a decent breaker's yard. Most of them come in warranty anyway. You can just bung another engine in. Saves a heck of a lot of time. unless you like the whole idea of stripping an engine down. Mark Nusita, I have a Mark IV 2011 2-litre Titanium X. Is the engine Peugeot? Yes. Yes, it is. If it's a diesel, Mark IV 2011 2-litre Titanium. If it's a diesel, it'll be Peugeot. If it's a petrol, it's probably Mazda. Computers and stuff. I upgraded my Mark V 2-litre TDCi from the lowest spec 150 brake horsepower to 180 using 4Scan software. Oh, that's interesting. Because that's the type of thing you would take to a tuner to do. You would pay for that. You could start yourself a little something going there. There's a lot of people who would like to. There's a lot of people who would like to sort of like get their ECUs to give their engine a lot more power. Jamie Preston, hi Jamie. Learned a lot about the quirks on Mark V. My Mondeo was a Mark III, which made it to 330,000. That's good going. Had to retire that due to corrosion setting in. Made the upgrade to a Mark V. Well, you won't get no corrosion on a Mark V, Jamie, that's for sure. Depending what mileage you've got on your Mark V, you shouldn't have any trouble until, I don't know, up to 150,000 miles. They're pretty sound. Then you start getting a few things falling off them. Generally, bits that are bolted to the engine need changing. Nothing that can't be done though. DW rebuilds. What is the worst car? Oh, there was one job I done years ago. It was a second gear on a Saab, and it was one of them cars where the gear, it was like a bit like an old British Leyland Mini sort of like design, where the gearbox, you had the gearbox was underneath the actual sump, and the gearbox ran in engine oil, and you had to take the bloody, and the clutch was it's hard to explain. It was in a right stupid position. It was a right setup. It was almost like a bloody old mini engine with a clutch on one side, but it was in the back of the engine, and then the gearbox underneath, and everything ran in engine oil. But to take the bloody engine and gearbox out and change the second gear on it. I forget what model Saab that was, but it was a bloody old one. That weren't very nice at all. Oh, I've done loads of bad jobs over the years. I've done loads of shit stuff, but I will try and think of some of the worst, and I'll make a video of it if I can. It's been so long though that I've been doing these taxis, and nothing on them is really that bad. They're all pretty sort of like straight. Whatever goes wrong on them is pretty straightforward. So I'll have to think about the bad stuff. I haven't had much bad stuff lately. Daniel Baker, 2-litre. Mal Harries, Mondeo Mark IV 2-litre TDCi power shift, surging panting noise, 1 second on, 1 second off when under load. Yeah, you have to get that plugged in to a scanner, see if there's any codes in the ECU. There could be anything really. It's not something I've really come. We don't have automatics. All our cars are manuals. So when we have automatics, if we've got an automatic problem, then we'll look into it. But they're very few and far between. But like I say, if you've got any issues with an automatic, phone up Midland Automatics in Kettering. The guy there is absolutely magic. He really knows what he's talking about. Jesus Messer, the best. I have a Fusion Mark V 1.5. Thanks for your classes. Well, thank you, Jesus. SDG Electronics, hi. The video is about 25 minutes behind the comments. I'm not flipping egg. How long has this been going for? Holy crap, it's gone 10 o'clock at night now. I'm not sure how this is going to come out, this video, because you're not supposed to record on YouTube at the same time as you record on this StreamYard. So I don't know what's going on, whether it's coming out right or not. I guess I'll find out later. If it all turns out crap, then I'll have to try and work out how to use it properly. I better call it a night, guys, because I didn't realise it was only supposed to be answering like a handful of comments, and I've answered about 2 comments that I was supposed to answer. I'll have to type the other ones out. But anyway, if I haven't got to your messages, there seems to be a lot of messages there. I can't keep up. It's too many. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. I will try and do this again as much as I possibly can, because I've got nothing else to do in the evenings anyway, except like watch YouTube videos. So I'll try and do some more of this if I can. But thank you, everybody who's joined in tonight. It's been a pleasure, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So thank you, everybody. Have a good one out there. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Adios.